Hi, Monkyvers. Welcome to another episode of this section that is called PTSD. As a musician, I need to talk about it, I feel like, and this has been a topic that I've been studying. I also been studying a couple things besides that, but like the main purpose with this is just to be able to talk about it, make people more aware about it, more in my communities in US. Thank you so much for trusting me. And yeah, let's get into the video. I'm going to be doing goofy jokes, so there always has been a time where, So as you must know, the last video that I did about PTSD, PTSD. And also, I'm been getting into the song of like Playboy and like The Weeknd or Cardi Playboy. I don't know. It's just let me check for a second. Playboy or Cardi Timeless. The song is called Timeless by The Weeknd and Playboy. Yeah, Playboy Cardi. That is basically talking about PTSD. That I don't know, it just has been a time because when you had that, it's just resonating with me a lot. But like the trick and like what I've been seeing from the perspective, is goofy, is danceable, whatever. But like PTSD is not about numbing the feeling with alcohol and drugs or stuff like that. It's just about feeling gentle and okay with yourself while you kind of are into that pattern of like identifying what you have and what you don't have related to PTSD. And so in order to you to numb maybe like The Weeknd, the feeling of like feeling of wanting to have this kind of time, because there has been two sectors in these things, because in the sexual aspect, because that's what I'm going to get into today's video. I'm not going to get into anything more than just that, and I'm wearing a shirt, so don't mind my clothes. So basically, I thought that has been many times where you kind of feel all about yourself, you feel like you can, or like since that moment happened to you, because some people really could not have that moment of like that hard moment, you know what I mean here, that kind of moment where somebody take over the power over you without consent. We were having the same thing, so take it off, okay? Take it off. So you can cry, it's okay. But like I'm not also certificated a psychologist. I'm just informed by PTSD. I had my studies right now about to finish. So warning about that. If you had a chance to hire a psychologist with a 5 years, 7 years degree, do that. But like I'm here to talk about my things and about it as well. So yeah. So at the time you might have a flicking, your mind could be flicking. Either you could avoid all the things that you had in your body, you could be hypersensitive about it. So it's okay for you to be open about these things, first of all, because you maybe were in the stage, let's say that you passed for whatever you passed, and then you are in the stage of feeling avoidance and wanting to over control this factor, because at those times your mind thinks that your mind will tell you that I need to think more rather than just feel. I need to control more rather than feel, because when you take control, it feels so good, because I fast for that, because you have a source of like controlling over anything. Like, you set the rules, you set the time, you set when and how, and which is fine, but like it doesn't allow you a door to feel, because you are avoiding what you pass for, either by replacing that kind of need of comfort emotional that you had by being with a lot of people. I'm not saying that hookups, everyone is different, but I'm just saying from a little bit, a small percent that happen, especially from my perspective. I don't know about you, but like there has been times where I've been wondering if I want to fulfill that back in time with being, big with a lot of people, whatever. Even though was googling like search jobs about it, but like I realized that I was demisexual, so like keep me off from that pattern that I didn't pursue. But like I had that on mind many times of like, maybe I want to test the waters with somebody, but like I am demisexual. I can't even reach my peak emotionally. And talking about emotions, you're always gonna be sometimes where you kind of have the flashbacks before your acceptance in the treatment. That is why also so important to balance these kind of things. And like you could have sometimes when you crave it most. It's completely normal. From one-on-one, I'm telling you, one on video, it's completely normal to have those cravings. I have many times. That's why I cleaned religiously, because there has been no other thing that keep my mind worried rather than being at home, dedicated to my cats, being dedicated to the books that I read, being dedicated to the things that I do, dedicate my time to be invested here or to study something rather than just being juggling with my mind. But like you might have still some baggage of that, physically speaking. And I don't recommend hookups because there is much involved. You could have many infections, but like I don't know, I respect everyone's choice as well. Not me, because I'm demisexual. It's hard. Even sometimes I've been like yucky. I don't like that. Either way. But there has been times that you crave it and you need to do multiple things that could replicate that without affecting yourself and others in conscious and conscious way. So many things that you can maybe try would be maybe walking in a village and walk a lot as well, or sometimes it's cyclical. Like the last year has been the hottest year that I ever had. I don't know why. Mindfully speaking, because sometimes I even don't write about it. I journal about it. I make jokes about it, which I've been getting banned like 3 times or 4 times from the group chat that I'm part of, or I've been doing jokes without taboos with somebody. This is my thing of expressing and like expression, and that's pretty much it. That's a way. Or you can do yoga things, positions, whatever, to kind of have the kind of breathe, or you never know, because sometimes I've been like waking up at 6 a.m. or 7 or 8, and I've been having energy straight up into 12. So sometimes you might have the feeling of like, I really don't know what to do. I'm just thinking in like that, like what there are many things that I can do. What will be many things that could happen? What if they, and instead of like being against that, because some people could have some taboo around that, embrace it and just do many things that you can, physically speaking, without affecting that. Like sometimes my mom has just been watching me cleaning the floor with my with my legs, and like just with my feet basically, and just cleaning the furniture, like the table, with my hands at the same time, which is a way that I can drain myself. Like if you are feeling more sweet, more flirty, express that with others as well. Of course, be respectful, set your boundaries, but like there has not been a thing when you feel like I maybe need over sexual, or like I might need to be over not sexual, because there has been girls that are against that because they pass for it, which I've been also in a period where I was real against that. Like the best excuse that I find is just no, I want to date to marry. That's it. That I don't want to do nothing. I want to wait for being with somebody married, and like then test the waters, or how somebody said, like, test the merch. But like I didn't do it. I'm just juggling between thoughts sometimes, and I mean staring at the wall, but like you can feel against it because your body didn't have a pleasant experience about it. So it's okay for you to get not used to that, but like be more in contact with yourself, be more in touch with yourself, be more aware that you are in practice also grounding, because it's important to you that you feel safe. At least if you are not asexual. In that case, I don't know, but like most cases is because you, as a person, as a human being, you need to have those feelings, and it's okay. There has been a time where you might feel against it, but like try to tell yourself that animal does it, people does it, sometimes, but like it's always with consent. Even though animals that don't want to reproduce with another animal that they are thinking about, they end up pinch them. They find a way to don't do that. So animals at least set their boundaries as well. They are not feeling yucky for it, but like it's gradual that, and it's still like punchy. And it's okay to, if you still feel not ready to revise those thoughts or those feelings, those emotions, but like gradually it's okay also. But you are maybe in a period where you feel over compulsive to try to control. Remember that that is okay, but control is not equal to love. Control is just a check mark that something happened according to you. But like sometimes the things that you might have on mind will not be pleasant for another person, or even do for yourself in your own body. And it's important to recognize that as well. Not tell yourself that empowerment is equal to abusing yourself and others, in a way that you maybe will put in a limit where you feel low, or like so bad after that. Even if you had an environment that was bad to you, because that could happen with PTSD, doesn't it's not an excuse for you to set that about yourself. Because one thing is the exterior, like you made it not work, like where you work on is not good. It's not equivalent to do that. And don't feel ashamed that you ever had those feelings, those emotions, those thoughts that you might have when you feel really scared to do that, or like you feel that you crave that. There have always been like a middle for it, which is okay. You need to learn how to behave sometimes. Not just kidding. But like it is what it is. And the best tool that I have to recommend you for now is just to try to do physical activities to drain that kind of energy. Could be hiking, could be walking, could be painting, could be yoga positions that are kind of hurt a little bit more. I kind of try some positions of yoga, but like it feels so pleasant because it drains you so much, in a good sense of like it calms you down. Not drains you, that is not the right word, but like it solves you, this mood in a way that is soft, and like, yeah, and have empathy as well with yourself. But like with this that I'm telling you, is not replacing therapy. Okay, it's just a middle, so you can also be with therapy. One of the things that you can might find or not find is maybe because you kind of don't want to, or and that affect your wallet. I will get deeper later on, but like it's better that you seek out some help, not just think that you will not be trustworthy. It's also okay to reach out for some help. So yeah, Monkyvers, I hope that you can learn something from my experience, even though we all have cravings. sometimes not. I'm against black in those times. That is a color coming back again. But like, it is what it is. Also love peaches. Set your tongue well, okay? I also want to add something more while I'm editing this, and is that when you have this kind of things of like hypersexuality after a breakup or after like a big bond emotion was broken, and you kind of lean into being I'm not going to blame girls. I love to wear, naturally speaking, like tight clothes, because when this comes natural from you, like let's say you love to wear tight clothes like I wear sometimes, or revealing clothes, like not much revealing, but like and so when it comes from the side of like the shoulders, like places that it feels flowy, but like it doesn't feel like it's pre-recorded or like it's pre-made, that kind of movement that you just flow with, that is when sensuality comes to you out natural. But like when it's just a performance, it comes from the neck and it's very rectangular. So in those times, after people, let's say, break from the emotional bond that was meaningful, they be in this kind of thing, but like it doesn't come fluid, it's just more rigid, like it's pre-made to call the attention. So yeah, definitely that is why kind of having hypersexuality is based on, and like what is the kind of the thing that is, because you don't have that before, and like whatever will be the reason you seek now in the exterior. And also it is completely okay, but like that is the phase where you need to relocate yourself more ground and connect more yourself more than ever, and ask yourself if that is natural or not natural, if it comes from you naturally or not. So yeah, even that can happen in terms of like meeting people, etc., etc. So if it comes from you naturally, if the movement is fluid, it's more like it's natural from you, it's okay, you can embrace it. But like if it's pre-made, pre-programmed, pre-whatever, it's just very rectangular, and it's just it's like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That is when you need to ask yourself. And also seek out some, so yeah. That is why it's called hypersexuality, for validation, and your mind is trying to reach and have control by linking or seeking for other people's attention, which is okay, but there are other areas that you can have control, maybe in routines, maybe in daily life, and yeah. So yeah. Anyway, let's see you in the next video, PSTV. And the key is not numb the feeling. To replicate the example that we can play with Cardi, the trick is not numbing the feeling. The song is nice, but don't numb the feeling. Okay, just easy peasy. Bye. Take care. Bye.